Hey there, boys and girls, and welcome to day 15 of the MBD Month of Mindset Challenge. We're halfway through. I can't believe we're actually at the halfway point already. The time's going by so fast for me on this one. I'd love to know how you're getting along with it. This stage, I'd just love to maybe check in and ask, what's been your favourite day so far? Drop me a comment and let me know. Let me know particularly if there's been anything that you were maybe a bit hesitant towards and that you got some benefit from. I'd really love to know that, because those are the best things for me to do, is the ones that take you by surprise and give you the benefit that you weren't expecting. So today we're talking about removing things. It's not just all about adding all the time, okay? We are such an additive species. We just generate more friends as we get older, and we try and look for earning more money, or having the bigger house, having the faster car, whatever. We add. And we can end up amassing a lot of stuff. Now, this isn't about physical stuff. That's coming up in a couple of days on Declutter. But this is about the things that we do, right? You pick up a new hobby, or you pick up something else, you pick up a new language, or whatever it may be. And we just continue to add in additional things to kind of just fill the time more than anything else, really. Now, it's cool when those things serve us and when they actually give us something great. But sometimes those things serve us for a small period of time in our lives and then actually aren't beneficial to us any later. It's one of the things for me, I chopped and changed between instruments quite a lot. I play the guitar, the piano and the drums. And often people would criticize the fact that I've moved on from one to another and so on and so forth. But there was a time that I did all three at the same time. I had music lessons for all three in the same week, and therefore I'd have to practice all three, otherwise the music lesson was a bit of a waste of time. And yeah, first I was on point with that, everyone was getting better and they were all feeding into each other. But eventually it became just too much for me to do in that one week. And as a result, all three instruments suffered. So I've never removed completely on that, because I still play all three of them and I still enjoy it. But I had to reassess what time I spend to doing each of those things. And that is what I suppose remove is about to a degree. You can also, one other thing that I like to talk about on remove day is to remove the things that we either watch or interact with that aren't serving us anymore. I've had many mentors throughout the course of my career that were great for me for a period of time, and then I either moved beyond what we were talking about or actually decided that my direction was slightly different from that person. And it's okay to not get that value from that person anymore and to move on and to not consume their things. I often advise people to do the same with mine. If my stuff is helping you right now, fantastic. I love having you on board and it's great to have you here. But if in 6 months from now you watch something of mine and go, oh, Dave's really kind of getting on my nerves now, or what he's saying is really doing my head in, or I don't think that's for me anymore, that's great also. There's no one way fits everyone for this, there's no one size fits all. And I'm totally prepared for that if someone moves on from what I do because they're in a different stage in their lives. And that's the thing about remove, is we very rarely sit down and say, does this thing give me value anymore? I used to love reading things like Men's Health and Flex, and then there came a point where actually the value I got from them in terms of learning about exercise and learning about different bodybuilders and stuff became diminished, and the value I was getting from them just almost disappeared, really. And a lot of the articles I would read in there would just be, they'd just be time consuming, and that would be it. They wouldn't offer me any real value. So I moved on from there and I started reading other things, and I allocated that time to something else. And there's a great saying that I love to use, which is a little space creates a lot of room. Sometimes taking something out of your life is as useful, if not more useful, as putting something else in. And sometimes we actually need to assess whether, does the life I'm living, does it require more than I'm doing right now? Or does it require less? Because the answer in that, it's like it can be a bit of both sometimes for certain people. It can be more in the idea of removing things. For me, one of the things that I could probably do with removing, or at least reducing, is the amount of time I spend scrolling on social media. I'm a creator on social media, but when I get into a consumer cycle where I go on, I can mindlessly scroll for a long period of time. Don't necessarily need to remove social media entirely from my life because I'm communicating to you through it right now. But maybe it's worthwhile me reducing that use of social media. And when I do find myself actually going back into that sort of age-old habit, calling myself out on it and saying, you know what, my life's better with less of this. So that's what remove is all about. Figuring out, I should have said that in a nutshell really at the beginning. It's all about figuring out what is your life better with less of in it, not just always striving for more. Love to hear what you guys have found through all of this, through experiencing the month of mindset so far, and also what today you can analyze and say, yeah, that thing actually, that needs to be reduced or removed, and I'm going to feel much better. I'm going to create that room by giving a little bit of space. I'm going to create a lot of room for whatever else is ready to come my way. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.